Coach, you always talk about learning from losses. What do you take away from a game like this?
You got to play better defense. Yeah, it's to me, it's pretty black and white. You know, I give them credit. They played really well tonight. I thought Rodney Hood was the MVP of the game. Had a huge impact on the game throughout it, all 4 quarters. We got off to a really good start. Liked our first quarter, liked our defense, liked our energy. But that second quarter was, I think, the deciding quarter. You know, 32 to 20. They scored. They shot 55% from the field. 3 and 4 was back and forth. But bottom line is we didn't defend. You know, the whole night. 119 points, 15 made threes, and then you couple that. You know, couple that with our inability to make shots. And we got 46 shots in the paint tonight. We made 16. So unfortunate, but we've been here before. I thought our Game 6 here in Portland was better than our Game 6 at San Antonio. You know, but now we go home and you know, best home court advantage in the NBA. And we're going to rely on that once again to try to close it out in Game 7.
Michael, there was a play early in the fourth quarter, I think it was a 2-on-1, and Paul threw it up to Beasley. He missed the dunk. CJ finished at the other end. Do you feel like the game turned there?
I don't think it turned there. You know, once again, I go back to the second quarter. I thought that second quarter was a pivotal 12 minutes where we had a good vibe going on both ends. You know, we're in somewhat of control of the game early, so you like where you're headed. Then that second quarter, everything just got turned around really, really quick. And give their bench credit. Those guys came in and played very, very well for them. But that play you allude to, obviously when you're on a two-on-one break and you have an opportunity to get a layup under or a dunk and you come up with 0 points and you give up points on the ensuing possession, that obviously is not what you want when you're trying to make up ground in the fourth quarter. So, you know, big plays, you know, but, you know, we're going to learn from it. And we realize that in our wins in the playoffs, our defense has carried us. Even nights like this when you struggle to make shots, you have to rely on your defense. And I thought our defense was not where it needed to be tonight.
Michael, Eric Anderson, Associated Press. I think Dame had 17 in the third quarter. What did you see from him in that third quarter that kind of got him going?
Oh, just an aggressive Dame. You know, obviously, you know, you saw that in all 5 games in the first round against Oklahoma City. We've done a pretty good job of guarding him throughout this series. And tonight, you know, with their backs against the wall, you knew what you were going to get. And Dame, obviously, 32 points, made 6 of 13 threes. And did a hell of a job, you know. But once again, as well as Damian played, you can't speak enough about Rodney Hood. Not just the impact that Rodney had tonight, but the impact he's had the whole series. You know, he averaged 3 points a game in the first round. So talk about a young man stepping up and taking advantage of a situation in an elimination game. So, you know, great performance by Rodney Hood. We have to be much better guarding him.
Kind of in that same vein, Michael, when it comes to Lillard and how you guys have guarded him, did you feel like it was just aggressiveness from him, or did you feel like you guys maybe gave him a little more space tonight than he's had?
Oh, definitely. I would agree with that. I think when you combine the fact that Damian knows this is win or go home, you know what kind of mindset a great player is going to come out with, coupled with, you know, us maybe not being as physical and into him, our bigs maybe not being up at the level as often, so he's able to come off and make 6 threes. You know, and we've done a really good job of taking away the 3-point shot with him for the most of the series, and tonight he got off. So it was definitely a combination of him understanding what time it is and us not being as engaged defensively as we need to be.
Second row on the right.
Romy Bean, CBS Denver. Coach, before the game you said you wanted your team to come out not just to meet the urgency and energy of Portland, but to exceed it. Do you feel like they were able to accomplish that?
I think so. You know, once again, did we sustain it for 48 minutes? Maybe not necessarily. But I thought quarter 1 tonight compared to quarter 1 against San Antonio was a marked difference. You know, our defense was phenomenal. We had 8 assists, 1 turnover in the first quarter. And we have an 8-point lead, 34 to 26. So I loved how we started. Obviously, once we got into that second quarter, though, that's where we kind of lost our rhythm on both ends of the floor. We had a hard time scoring. We had a hard time defending. And when you're struggling to make shots, you have to rely on your defense, something we've done a lot this year. But tonight, obviously, we struggled on both ends. Couldn't make shots, 38% from the field, which is not a great number, and 16 of 46 in the paint. And that carried over onto the defensive end, unfortunately.
Second row on the left.
Michael, two questions. An easy one first. If Jokic hadn't picked up his fourth foul in the third, would you have come back with him to start the fourth?
You know, I'm not sure. You know, obviously it was definitely in my thought process. You know, I ran Jamal Murray a lot of minutes tonight, and with with Nikola in foul trouble, I felt I needed to have one of those guys on the floor at all times, just with the rhythm of the game and them kind of having the lead. And I didn't want to have both Jamal and Nikola on the bench at the same time. So there's a chance. Obviously, you know, it's tough. You know, I give our bench credit. You know, it's easy to sit there and criticize them, but you know, it's tough to play a couple of minutes, and when things don't go well, you come out and you probably start pressing a little bit. So I probably have to show a little bit more confidence and faith in those guys so they can play their game effectively. But yeah, Nicola's a valuable part of our team, and I'll play him as many minutes as needed to try to get a win. And obviously, Game 7 will be that case for everybody.
And then the other one, there was obviously that big scuffle there in the fourth. Are you concerned about further penalties?
You know, it's funny. I still haven't gotten a real good look as to what happened. You know, I know that I think it was Will Barton and Seth Curry, I believe, that had the initial. I know, you know, for us, I didn't see their bench, but our bench never came close to coming on the floor. And then I think Torrey and someone else were assessed double techs. So the referees, the coaches from both teams, I think did a great job of breaking it up. I didn't see anything that would warrant any further, you know, tech suspensions, whatever. I think they broke it up pretty quickly, and hopefully both teams are at full strength for Game 7, which is what, you know, the fans deserve. Appreciate everybody.